Hello everyone, this is Devbyte. In this video, we are going to add our very first enemy AI that will follow player from a certain distance. Let's add our very first enemy AI into the game using Unity navigation system. First of all, click on Window button, and from there, open Package Manager. In Package Manager, select Unity Registry and search AI. And here on top, we have AI navigation. We need to install this. This package gives Unity the ability to create intelligent pathfinding using NavMesh. Now let's create an empty game object for our NavMesh Surface component and rename this to NavMesh Surface. And click on Add Component and search NavMesh and select NavMesh Surface. NavMesh Surface is responsible for generating the walkable navigation data for our AI. This component will scan the environment and tells Unity where enemies can walk and where they cannot walk. To bake navigation data, let's active all our environments to create walkable areas for our enemy. Select NavMesh Surface Game Object and click Bake. Now Unity analyzes the environment and creates walkable areas for our enemy. Let's enable Show NavMesh to show our bake data. This blue area represents the valid walkable surface for our AI agents. I have already downloaded a zombie character from Mixamo and imported in my project as well. Drag him in hierarchy. Quickly adjust its scale and extract its textures and materials. Next, we need to active enemy in every level. Because we have multiple levels, the enemy should not always stay in the same position. Open our level handler class and add enemy position and rotation for every level and enemy object as well. First, let's add a public vector, 3 enemy paws to store enemy position in every level. Next, let's add public game object enemy for every level. Now we'll create a dedicated method to active our enemy in start of the game. Let's check for null reference first. If our enemy is a null, then we'll assign the position of enemy in every level. We also need to handle enemy rotation as well. For this, add a new quaternion and name this enemy rotation. Now, let's assign the rotation as well. And finally, we'll active enemy in every level and call this method in start. Next, quickly assign enemy in every level and set its position and rotation in every level. Now comes the most important part of this video. We're finally going to create the brain of our enemy. Right-click and create new script and rename this as Zombie Controller. This script will control enemy states, player detection, movement, and animations. First, let's add a new private float. Look radius and set this value to 10. This is the enemy detection radius. Now it's difficult to visualize this radius inside the scene. So let's draw it using gizmos. Let's add an onDraw gizmos to draw a visible wire sphere. Inside this, let's say gizmos.draw wire sphere. And we'll draw it on enemy position, and radius will be look radius. So now we can visually see the enemy detection range. As we need our enemy to follow our player, if enemy detect the player, for this we need a player target transform. Let's add private transform target player. This stores reference to our player transform. Now we want our enemy to intelligently follow player. For this, we'll add a NavMeshAgent component to our enemy. This component allows the enemy to move intelligently using Unity's navigation system. Now we need to access the NavMeshAgent component of enemy. So we'll add private NavMeshAgent zombie agent. Assign its reference in start method. Let's say zombie agent equals get component NavMeshAgent. After that, assign target player ref as well. We already added our player in level handler class, so we'll get the reference from there. Let's say target player equals level handler.instance.mainPlayer.transform. Currently, we are adding 2 states of motion for zombie idle and follow. So let's add an enum zombie state and add idle and follow as zombie states. Next, we'll store the current behavior state of our zombie. Let's add private. Zombie state, current state. In start, we'll say our current state is idle state because we want our zombie to be idle at the start of game. Now let's implement the actual zombie behavior. Up until now, we only create variables and references, but now we'll tell the zombie how to behave. We're using update because enemy behavior needs to run continuously every frame. Now we'll use a switch statement based on our current zombie state. Let's write our first case, which is idle state. While idle, we want the zombie to stand still, so we'll set the NavMeshAgent.speed equals 0. Next, we want our zombie to play idle animation for idle state. But first, we need to access the animator component of zombie. Let's add private animator, zombie animator, and set its reference in start as well. As we all set with animator, let's play idle animation in idle state. We'll say zombie animator dot set bool and idle to true and walk to false. Even though the zombie is idle, it still needs to check if the player becomes visible. Let's call visibility method here. Let's create this visibility method, private void visibility, and this method will handle player detection. Inside this, let's add a bool player visible equals to Physics.CheckSphere, and position will be this dot transform dot position, and radius will be look radius, and layer mask will be player. Now let's check if player visible is true, then we'll change the state to follow state. Now we have visibility of zombie. Let's implement follow state. Let's add a new case for follow state. Now we want our zombie to move toward player with some speed. So let's add a private float walk speed and set its value to 0.5 for now. Back in our follow state, first of all, we need to tell the NavMesh agent to move toward the player position. For this, we'll say zombie agent dot set destination, and it'll be target player dot position. Next, we'll tell our agent to move with a speed, and this will be zombie agent dot speed equals walk speed. And next, we'll tell our zombie animator to play walk speed. So we'll say zombie animator dot set bool idle equals false and walk to true. That is it. Let's quickly set the animation type from rig to humanoid and create new animator controller for zombie as well. Drag controller and assign to animator of zombie and set animation type of the animations to humanoid as well. And set the animation setting as we did for our player in previous episode. Select zombie from hierarchy and drag our idle and walk animations in animator panel. Right click on idle and create new transition and connect it to walk animation. Quickly create a new parameter bool for idle and spell them same as we did in our code. Now right click on walk and make new transition and connect it to idle, because in future videos we want our enemy to went back to idle as well, and create a bool parameter for our walk as well. Select idle to walk transition and uncheck as exit time and add condition for idle to false and walk to true. And for walk to idle, uncheck as exit time and set condition idle to true. One last thing, quickly give a player layer to our player. Let's test the game. As you can see, once a player enters the detection radius, the zombie automatically switches from idle to follow state and starts chasing the player. This episode became a bit longer than our usual 3-minute tutorials, but we'll end this here. And in the next video, we'll make this AI even better by adding waypoint patrol system and attack system as well. Follow Devbyte